Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I am back with another exciting update for my Pan Those Eyeshadows project Pan. So this project was originally started by Alexi. I will link her down below. I think she's taking a break from YouTube, but you can still binge watch her. I'm also wearing this ombre lip today. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but I was like, okay, this trend seems fun. Let's just try it out. Anyway, I'm working on 5 eyeshadows in this project to hit Pan, and I have hit a few pans. But before I share all of my progress with you guys, if you are new here, please consider subscribing to my channel. My name is Rafneet and I make a lot of panning videos. Let's start with our very first eyeshadow. It's been in here for past 2 months, and since last update I had 15 uses on this one, and it comes from my Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette. And then I only had to use it one more time, and then I got the pan. As you can see, the pan over there is big. So yeah, very excited to get pan on 3 eyeshadows in this palette. And this is the shade called Amazon Looks Like. It's very impactful. I'm pretty sure everyone on YouTube raves about how beautiful the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette is. Oh, sorry. So this eyeshadow, it was rolled in, I guess, 3 months ago. I'm sorry if my voice is kind of, I'm sick. But yeah, we're just gonna roll with it. The next eyeshadow is something that rolled in 2 months ago, and it is my Natasha Denona single in the shade called Helo. It comes from their retro eyeshadow palette, I guess. I got it as a gift with some Sephora purchase, and last update I had 4 uses on this one, and I used it 11 more times, and you can see there is some dip forming. However, it's not as prominent as I had hoped it to be, because now I have 15 uses in total on this one, and still we are nowhere near pan. But I'm just gonna keep working on this one and we'll see how long it takes for me to get pan on this. I'm wearing it on my eyelids today because I want to hit pan on this. I've been wearing neutral looks mostly, but yeah, that's how the Helio looks like. This eyeshadow is staying in, and the next eyeshadow is also here for 2 months, and it comes from my Hela palette from Odins and Angelica. It is this shade called Ouroboros, and last update I had 6 uses on this one, and this update I also have 6 uses on this eyeshadow, and this is how it's looking like. So we have a very narrow tip forming on this eyeshadow because I've been mostly using it as an eyeliner, and I'm also putting it in my outer corners. These are not very loosely pressed and they do pack a punch, so yeah, I don't really need a lot of it to get the pigment on my eyelids. So far I have 12 uses on this one, and I think with that concentrated dip I might be able to get pan on this one by next update. But yeah, so far it's staying in, and that's how Ouroboros looks like. It looks much deeper in the pan than it looks on the skin. So far we have 1 eyeshadow rolling out, 2 staying in, and let's move on to our last 2 eyeshadows. So both of them come from my Temi X Revolution palette, and I was working on these 2 eyeshadows called Moss and Jab Jab, and I hit pan on both of them. So we rolled these eyeshadows in last month, and I was speculating to get pan on them by this update because these eyeshadows are very shallow, and yeah, we have pan. This is how we are looking like for both of those eyeshadows. That's Moss, that's Jab Jab. So it took me 4 uses to hit pan on Moss, and I used it one more time to kind of expand it, and it took me 7 uses to get pan on Jab Jab. I was wearing it on the tail of my eyebrows, and that's the reason the tip is very centered. I wore it as a liner a few times as well, but now we have pan on all of these eyeshadows except one, and with that we have 3 rollouts for this month. Very exciting. I'm gonna show you what these 2 eyeshadows look like. Oh, I still had green left on my finger, so that's why Moss swatched like that. So this was my color story that I was working on, and I was actually pairing Ouroboros and Amazon, and of course Helio together a lot. So pinks and greens, they just look so good, and I really enjoyed the combination. I think I'll continue wearing these 2 eyeshadows together. It's time to go over our panning percentage. So past month I finished 2 eyeshadows. That brought down the number of total eyeshadows I have to 223. I think that's a number. Let me double check. So yeah, that's right. I have 223 eyeshadows in total, and now I have pan on 66 eyeshadows out of them. So the two eyeshadows I finished had pan already on them, and that's the reason eyeshadows with pan number hasn't increased a lot, but that brings the pan percentage to 29.59%. I am approaching 30%. I'm so happy about that. But yeah, it's time to roll in 3 new shades. I can't believe we are rolling in 3 new shades, but I'm excited. I have 140 eligible eyeshadows to roll in from, because I'm not including all of the eyeshadows from my Morphe 350 Supernatural Glow palette, because it has a lot of matte eyeshadows which are very similar to my Pan That palette shades. So I just don't want to kind of work on the similar eyeshadows in different projects, and that's the reason I've only included the shimmer eyeshadows from Morphe 350 palette. So let's put our numbers. So we have to get 3 eyeshadows from 1 to 140. First one is 6, okay, and then 15, and then 79. Okay, let me see what those eyeshadows are. Alright, I'm back and I've swatched the new color story, and I'm so excited to show you guys the eyeshadows I rolled in. Oh my god, I think this might be the most interesting color story we've gotten so far in this project. I mean, look at it, it's so pretty. Very colorful. Anyway, the first eyeshadow is the Natasha Denona single that's rolling over from our last update. And the next eyeshadow is also rolling over from the past few months, and this is the Rose shade from Helo palette. And this one, both of them come from my ABH Checky Aina palette. I mean, both these eyeshadows are so reminiscent of the packaging. It has pink, it has green. What more can you hope for? So the first eyeshadow is Supreme. This is how Supreme looks like. I already have a lot of uses on this eyeshadow. As you can see, the dip is huge. I feel like I can get pan on this one by next update. And the next eyeshadow is Sponsored, and it is favorite shade of so many people, and I have used it a lot as well. You can see the huge dip on this eyeshadow. I could have hit pan on these eyeshadows with the number of uses I have on them, but I was focusing evenly throughout the pan, and that's the reason I don't have the pans yet. And now I think it's going to be super easy for me to get the pans. I feel like I'll be able to hit pan on both of these eyeshadows by next update. And the last eyeshadow comes from my Manish Mhot My Glam palette. This palette got rolled in, I think, in first or second update of this project, and I hit pan on this gray eyeshadow in here, but after that I did not touch it. Nothing from this palette got rolled in, but this time for the shade 79 we rolled in this eyeshadow, which is the last one in here. It's a dark shade with purple glitter. I feel like this would be perfect for blending my lid shade with my outer corner shade, or maybe all over the lid. Very sultry look. Oh, I'm so excited. And I feel like this color story in general is very cohesive. Like Sponsored works with Rose. It's gonna work with, you know, all of my matte shades in my Pan That palette. It's gonna, of course, pair really well with Supreme. Supreme is going to work with Helo, and this dark shade doesn't have a name. But yeah, I'm really excited with what we rolled in, and I think we'll be able to hit at least 3 pans. I'm pretty sure we won't be able to get pan on this one, because I remember this eyeshadow took a while to get pan, because these pans are relatively tiny, but they're very deep because each have 1 gram of product in them. So I'm not anticipating to get pan on this one next update, but I have no idea how deep Helio shade would be, because the dip on this one is not very deep either, and I think we have huge centered dip for Rose. Hopefully we'll be able to get pan on this one. And these 2 eyeshadows, for sure I'm gonna be getting pan on both of them. And that is all I have for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking with me until the end. I hope you have a wonderful day or night, depending on when you're watching my video. I will see you in my next one. Until then, take care. Bye.